Yeah, we are at the end of the year. Remind everybody that this is our last live show of the weekly live show until August. Now, every so often, we'll pop up and do a live show and a set of recordings, do some off-season content. We'll try to do more than we did last year.
Maybe
But we
something
will,
at the draft. Maybe something
yeah,
around there.
around draft time for
Yeah.
sure. A couple other times from here or there. But we'll be back in August. Get you ready for college football and the NFL and all of that. We'll kick it back off for season number 11, by the way, looking back over the history of this program. This was year 10. But Sean, obviously not a lot of football, but what was the best from the past week in football and sports?
Well, I mean, I had a few on the docket. I was, I have one that I can talk about later, so I'll put that off to the side. I think I'm going to go with probably one of the obvious ones here, though it was not anything record-setting. It looked boring at times, looked like timing was off. I'm going to give my best of the week to Sam Darnold, who, though struggling at times, did not cross that precipice into disaster Sam Darnold. Kept things under control. A lot of the incompletions were balls that only his receiver had a shot at. And, he did just enough, you know what I mean? And kind of realizing that, hey, like, I can't play bad, but I don't have to play great.
Right.
And to just be like, I'm going to walk out of here as Super Bowl champion. I think my best of the week has more to do with his path to this point, obviously.
Sure.
I don't know if that's a trivia question in the future. I don't know how many quarterbacks. I don't know how many quarterbacks get released to free agency and then win a Super Bowl their next year.
There's probably not a lot.
Not a lot. So, I mean, good for him to be written off after the bumbling Jets and to, do what he did in Minnesota and have people still think it was a fluke, and then just go do it again. I mean, good for him. Why not hoist a Lombardi trophy and enjoy yourself?
Now, to be fair, Tom Brady, some people have heard of him.
Yeah,
did get released to free agency, and
I was gonna say he was the one that popped into my head right away, like
next year. But I feel like obviously that release into free agency is a heck of a lot different than Sam Darnold.
Little different.
New England was kind of at a crossroads. And look, I mean, I get people are definitely having their fun at the Vikings fans' expense, but I will continue to say you look back at last year and the closing statement that Sam Darnold made in week 18 and the round one of the postseason. He didn't make a strong case for a team who had a rookie quarterback that they drafted in the first round and coming off, basically a redshirt season. Like Darnold, I think in that closing statement didn't do enough to make his case. I still, JJ McCarthy aside and what his future is going to be, I still think Minnesota did the right thing by their franchise. Let's just be fair. I mean, Seattle is a better team than the Vikings.
I think I brought that up last time. It was
for sure.
You don't have the pieces.
No.
That Seattle had.
No. So, two franchises at very different positions, but heck of a journey to Sam Darnold. And a stat that I saw that I thought just when I saw it seemed very shocking. And then I started thinking about even in our lifetime and even when this college program got really, really good and they didn't have a quarterback that parlayed to NFL success. Sam Darnold, the first USC Trojan quarterback to win a Super Bowl. That seems very surprising to me. But at the same time,
how many?
Joe Montana is the only Notre Dame quarterback to win one as a starter. I think Berline was on the Giants roster, but he wasn't the starter.
I was gonna say I thought maybe he also might have been on that Panthers team, but they didn't win it.
You know,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
so yeah, it's
Corning, if he counts,
oh yeah, I guess
technically won one.
or was that an NFL championship? But yeah, you're splitting hairs with them. I mean, Ian Book is a Super Bowl champion as a third stringer on the Eagles roster, but I don't think that counts. But yeah, just that's wild that you think of some of the success that USC has had over the years, and Sam Darnold's the first one. So yeah, hats off to him. Devin here in the comments has one of the things I had written down. Seahawks kicker Jason Myers is his best of the week. Yeah, 5 field goals, 17 points, set 2 Super Bowl records. Devin, I'm with you, bud. I think he got robbed of being the Super Bowl MVP. Like, I get the game wasn't close. It wasn't like a Vinatieri, game-winning field goal situation. But you even look at halftime when it was 9-0, and that offense had sputtered a bit. Those 9 points that were scored by Jason Myers seemed insurmountable at halftime almost. Like he put Seattle in a great position. So did their defense. Again, it was a team effort. When you're getting to that point where you're like, man, it could be this guy, it could be this guy, it could be this defender, it could be, that's you're doing things pretty well as a team when you hit that point. My actual best of the week, and I'll let you highlight anything else then if you have them. But I'm wearing, of course, Notre Dame garb. I like to close out the year with my teams, wearing my teams here, but. Notre Dame alumni making their presence felt in the Super Bowl. Julian Love, 2 tackles and a big interception. Riley Mills, rookie for the Seattle Seahawks, missed most of the year, still recovering from the injury that probably cost Notre Dame a national championship, if we're being brutally honest about it. But Riley Mills, 1 tackle and his first NFL sack in the game. And if you haven't seen the locker room clip with him talking about it, he said, yeah, my objective, it was to run through the guy's face. And I was like, well, that's what he did.
Well, that's a good mentality to have.
So congratulations to those Domers. I wouldn't be myself as well if I didn't highlight Michigan alum AJ Barner, 4 catches, 54 yards, and a touchdown. Obviously, all 3 of those contributing in their ways to the Seahawks Super Bowl win.
Yeah, I mean, my other one that I had would have been maybe Kenneth Walker, who looked as good as he's looked, I thought, in quite a long time. Looked very shifty, looked very healthy, and we'll talk about him a little bit more in a minute. But my number 2 was probably, and I'm not trying to get political here, was probably Bad Bunny. I thought Bad Bunny had a chance to shine and kind of got, for everyone's own personal reasons, a lot of flack just for being who he is, and decided to put on, he's like, well, I'm just going to recreate me in a halftime show. We're going to do where I'm from, what their problems are, what my rise was, and we're going to do it all in Spanish. And people are going to still talk about how great it was. And I thought it was a very good show. Not on a top 5 list of halftime shows for me, anything like that, from a performance standpoint. But I think from a statement standpoint, he really sold himself well. So that was one of my best of the week.
Yeah, and some of the numbers I forgot to pull the stats, but I think 4 billion social media impressions. And views over the last 24 hours. Basically, it was a great performance, and for sure, had plenty of eyes tuned in and still tuning in. I forget, I saw the there was a note about there was no or very minimal number of toilet flushes in New York City during the performance, but there was something like 75,000 or 750,000 in the 15 minutes following the performance. So New York City was tuned in for sure, as a lot of people
were. I didn't even 100% know that they tracked.
No, I didn't know
either. We kept.
but I guess the plumbing numbers are in.
Who's watching my toilet? I feel bad for that guy.
You're not kidding, but
Rough.
yeah, it was a wild week, and certainly a way to close up the football season.